The second bit of breaking news update on the article that was published. Let's go across to that. The Ministry of Defense has refuted a report that was put out. The Ministry of Defense has said there is no truth to the Reuters report that was put out, saying that the Reuters story on India pausing defense purchases from the US is false and fabricated. That was attributed to a senior official at the Ministry of Defense. This was the breaking news update that came in. On the breaking news story earlier, there was a report put out in the Reuters that claimed that India has put on hold some critical arms deals, or what they had in mind as far as defense buys from America were concerned. But that hasn't happened. Because that mischievous report also claimed that we had gone back on the oil imports, that we were ready to roll back a few Russian oil imports, but that too has been refuted. Sushant Sareen joining us. He's a member of the ORF. Hi Sushant, good evening. What do you make of the developments since we last spoke? Interesting that we've spoken to Putin and MOD saying that there's no, word on cancelling any deals, which was claimed by a Reuters report. What do you make of it?
Ranjan, we might not have cancelled any deals, but that does not mean that any of those deals are actually going ahead. Now, that could be for reasons of price, that could be for reasons, multiple other reasons. But I would imagine if I was one of the planners, defense planners in India, I don't know if I can deal with the Americans on strategic and security issues with any degree of confidence anymore. What is the surety that the kind of characters, abrasive, obnoxious characters you have in the administration, they might just turn around and say that, no, I want such and such things if you want such and such spare. I don't want to be subjected to that kind of blackmail from their side. So I would imagine that perhaps this is, we might not be wanting to blow apart the relationship completely right now. And we're playing it, slightly, we are being a little soft about how we are going about it. But I would imagine that there is going to be a rethink within the Indian establishment on how deep you can get in with the Americans. Because quite clearly, this is not a relationship that seems to be going anywhere, at least for the next 3.5 years. The sheer arrogance, the sheer insulting attitude of these guys, they don't want a trade deal with us. What they want is capitulation. What they want is servitude. Now, maybe the Europeans are very used to it and they are ready to, lie down and become a doormat for Trump and his cohort. I don't know whether India wants to do it or can afford to do it. So I would imagine that, while we are not yet saying that we are cancelling the deals, but I'm not quite sure if we are going to go ahead with some of these deals which are in the pipeline.
Sushant, I just want to then also ask you, because, when we spoke last, right, we were looking at the possible outcomes of this. And of course, we didn't know it's going to blow up this much. And beyond the point, there's no point if it's 50, 60, 100, right? And given the response from the Indian establishment, and we spoke of how things will change going forward, is there any going back now? You said that next 3.5 years, you can't expect anything at all. I mean, any movement in the India-US ties. But you see, Prime Minister is going to China. He's spoken to Putin. He's spoken to Lula. BRICS getting stronger. Quickly, in about a minute, if you can tell us, how you see BRICS shaping up in the next few years.
Again, I don't think we should be getting ahead of ourselves. Maybe we are attaching a little too much importance to BRICS as of now. I think there are serious structural issues even in the BRICS. We might have good bilateral relations with the Brazilians, maybe South Africans, of course the Russians. But, in terms of the sheer depth of economic interaction with these countries, I think there are certain limits. Now, we can have a very deep relationship with the Chinese. But again, the problem out there is that China wants to establish its hegemony over us. We are not wanting to become, a mercenary in the service of America or somebody else against China. I don't think we want to play that role. Certainly not. But I don't think we want to be subservient to the Chinese, which is what the Chinese want, that, we should accept everything they ask us to do. So if the Chinese were to change their attitude and were to soften and not behave like, the kind of power running rampant in the region, then yes, I would imagine that there is some scope for breaks. But as of now, it's a good forum to engage with, have bilateral contacts, maybe do something multilaterally. But it is not an alternate system which is ready to come into its own just yet. I think there are a lot of structural factors that will inhibit its role as an alternate reality.
Okay. Thank you, Sushant, for joining us on This Is Exclusive this evening.